Okay, so I have another thing to share. This was something that Spirit taught me like while I was on one of my road trips to Arizona, and I totally forgot about it. It seems like every day, like every morning I wake up, I like literally forget the entire like whatever it was I learned, and I'm like constantly reminded. It's almost like a rebirth, you know, where like you forget your past life and then you're reborn or something. So I keep being reminded like all the time. So I need to get this down on video before I forget. Alright, so the video I just made talked about the water, and you can actually correct the pH balance, or you know, the water from your own tap can actually, I mean anything that you drink, you can actually make the pH balance perfect for your system. And all you got to do is let it sit in your mouth until you can feel the energy distribution to where it's a perfect solution, where it doesn't taste too potent or too strong or anything. Okay, so we're going to use an example like this, right? I got like a pumpkin coffee right here, right? Well, sometimes it's like too much sugar, maybe it's like too strong or something like that, right? Well, okay, you know, you can do the same thing that you do with water to correct the pH balance naturally. You just take a sip of the coffee. I mean, you can always like make your own coffee and balance like the stuff that you put in it to make it taste perfect. But if you're ever in a situation where it's a bit too much and you don't want to waste it, if you take a sip of the coffee, let it sit in your mouth, let your own water molecules that are inside of your own system rush to the situation, and then they're talking to each other. It's that water cellular communication, and they balance out their energies, and then you've got a perfect solution now that won't be such a shock to your system, because maybe it's too much of this and too much of that, and then it makes you want something else to compensate for that. But you know, in order to make it a perfect solution so that your body can easily adjust to it and not have any issues, and not make you not so it's not a problem solution where it's like you drink it and now you gotta like compensate by adding something else to it. Instead, you can enjoy like something that's totally balanced, and it's really just more about the fun of it. I'm not saying you gotta do this every time, but it's like definitely worth a wager, definitely worth like trying out. And the same thing with food. It's like, to make it easier on digestive tracts, if you just take like say a bite of pizza, right? And it's like, you know, whatever it is that you really want to eat, and you take a bite out of it, it's like your mouth just rushes to it. Bam, it's like all this saliva, and it like literally breaks it all up before it even gets down your throat. Well, it's like you can do that with any single food that you eat. You eat like a bite of pizza, and you chew and you chew and you chew until you get it like basically breaks up in your own mouth, and it's like you're literally eating liquid fluid. Liquid fluid, what the heck? Liquid food. It's like fluid motion, and it's like a fluid diet. I mean, it really technically is. It just depends on like where you want it to get broken down. Do you want to get it broken down to your mouth, or your your stomach, or you know what I mean? Like it can be broken down either way, but there's something very magical about like, I don't know. Maybe it like fixes the chemicals in it. Like people are like really worried about chemicals or something. You know, anything that has chemicals in it or byproducts or whatever. But it's like if you just let your saliva, your water molecules in your own system, which we have the same amount as Earth has, and they rush to the situation and they say, "All right, what do we got to do here? We got to do this and that and this and that," and bam, they just make it. So, yeah, definitely try that out with anything like food or drink.